Hey guys, welcome back to Salty Sunshine where we shoot the salt. How's it going, Mama?
Good. How are you?
Good.
You happy on this Friday?
I am. Have lots of fun events today. Went to Pilates, going to a Christmas party later.
Were you
So
late? So there's a lot going on this week. You have a lot of plans this weekend?
I do. Well, mainly just tonight. I have a Christmas party. So that'll be fun.
Okay. Well, this weekend it's supposed to rain cats and dogs here in
Mhm.
South Florida. So that's not fun for dog owners. It's going
No.
to be a nightmare.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain here too. So our
No, this is
Christmas party
we're
might get
supposed
late.
we're supposed to have really heavy flooding. So, there's a lot of gossip going up on the tabloids this week. I didn't know, how much you wanted to talk about it, but the first thing I saw is Love is Blind is being renewed.
Oh yeah. I mean, I love Love is Blind. It's probably one of my favorite reality shows.
Well, Love is Blind is being renewed for season 6 and 7. So they confirmed both seasons. And season 6 is supposed to premiere on Valentine's Day.
Okay, so pretty soon.
Yeah. So that's exciting. Um, yeah, I feel like there's been more than 5 seasons, but I guess not.
Yeah, I guess not. I wonder how many people are still together from last season. Last season was interesting. I think I just saw a post from that guy. He was the little awkward one with the
Uh,
awkward girl.
that
And
they're
they're both
like,
like equally awkward. Yeah.
yeah, she's pregnant. Yes, I know. I saw that. And the my favorite couple from the first season. What was their name? Was his name Thomas? The
Um,
white guy and the black girl. I love them. And I
yeah.
think that they're still
Oh
together.
yeah. Yeah. They're what's holding Love is Blind together. Like they look like they really go together.
Those are the people you're talking about, Lauren and Cameron. Okay. Anyways. So yeah, we love Love is Blind. My one of my favorite shows on TV. Can't wait to see it. And then McDonald's, a cosmic store. It's set to be in Miami by 2024. So that's exciting.
Oh, that's so soon.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna probably be one of the first cities to get
Well,
the store.
yeah, they definitely can compete with Starbucks, like we said last time, and the whole boycott with Starbucks is happening. So they've lost like 11 billion in value, something like that. So this is like the perfect time for Cosmic to come around.
Why are they boycotting Starbucks?
Political reasons, I don't know. I haven't looked really into it. I just know that they lost a lot of money because of it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. And I don't really go to Starbucks that much, but I haven't heard. But
I'm
they're
just
always
saying it's
good.
the perfect time.
Yeah, it's a perfect time. Also, In-N-Out Burger opened in Idaho or Illinois.
That's like their most west or east store.
Well, the story was, well, what I saw, they had an 8-hour drive-through wait.
Are they really that good?
Well, I think it's because it was a small town.
Hmm.
I mean, who's gonna wait 8 hours for an In-N-Out burger? Idaho. It was in Idaho.
See, I don't get the people who do that. Like, there are enough people who will wait 8 hours for a burger.
Um, Apparently, I would never wait that long for anything.
No, and same. And people do it for iPhones, for burgers.
For iPhones, I rather wait
They
five
really
months.
camp out.
Yeah.
That's a little more understandable, I guess, compared to like a burger.
Any. I, okay. I can't think of one thing that's worth waiting 8 hours for.
I will say, maybe I don't know about it, but last time I went to In-N-Out, when I first visited California, they didn't have like a turkey burger or a vegan option. And I don't know, with everyone being so progressive and inclusive, you would think that one of like the biggest chains would have something for us.
But if they don't sell it, then they're losing money. If it doesn't sell,
Well, I don't think they've ever tried
if
it.
it's
Maybe they're not.
one person a week that's ordering, you know,
It's in California. There are so many vegetarians, or even just a turkey burger.
I don't know.
I think it would hit.
All the vegan stuff, they're very temporary. They don't. The only one that I've seen that has stuck is Burger King, the veggie burger.
The Impossible Burger. It's
But
pretty
like
good.
Pollo Tropical has had a vegan picadillo, and it doesn't stick.
I guess there aren't as many as you think there
It's like
are.
it's seasonal. They'll have it for like a few weeks, and then that's it.
Yeah. Mm.
The other thing I saw that was funny on the news, Drew Barrymore.
Mm.
So she has a talk show. Do you know about her talk show?
Mhm.
And so she's known for being super handsy with her guests. Like she sits way too close to them on the couch. Like she'll take off her shoes and like cross her legs, and she'll hold their hands or put her hand on their body on their leg or something. And it's like it's not normal. It's not how most people do interviews.
Mhm.
And she did one with Oprah Winfrey, and she was holding hands like this with her.
Yeah, I saw that video.
It was so uncomfortable to watch. I'm like, get off of her.
I wonder if Oprah was uncomfortable or if she was also just very like
I'm
into
sure
that
she was like,
conversation.
I can't wait for this to be over.
And no, it's very uncomfortable. And like no one, she doesn't have like an earpiece for someone to tell her like, can you get your hands off of Oprah? This looks
Well, they're
so
not going to,
bizarre.
I don't know if they'll say that, but I think she's done that with a few people.
I don't like that. Personal space.
Personal space.
And it wasn't even just like a touch, as they were saying, like one sentence that was super meaningful. It was
Yeah.
the entire time. It was
And
very,
we're post COVID. Like the germs are not, you're not supposed
you
to be
can't just touch
squeezing.
people.
Oh my gosh. And then Drake and Camilla, did you see they were in Turks and Caicos? What's that about? Camila Cabello.
Oh, I did see something about that. I don't see it. I don't know. I think I saw comments saying he can do better. I think she can do better.
Well, I don't know if anyone can do better. Like, what's wrong with either of them? They're great people.
Yeah. I
They're
mean,
both
Drake's obviously
talented.
very talented. I just feel like he's like an F boy.
He could be. I'm not sure, but that's very possible. He looks like he could be. But her
Yeah.
and her ex, what was his name?
Shawn Mendes. He
Shawn
has a
Mendes.
girlfriend.
He looked. I don't know what the word. It's not the word's not nice, but he looked too. They kind of were a mismatch for me. They didn't really go together.
Feminine.
No, they just their styles didn't mesh for me. Like she's more like Latin and Miami, and he was more something else.
I kind of liked them together, but
But they were a little bit of a mismatch. Her and Drake, I don't know if they're a match, but they're more in the same arena. I feel like the energy and the vibes, like what they might be into or how they
I
talk, or
guess maybe. Yeah, I could see it. I could see it as like a cute little fling that lasts maybe a month.
yeah, it probably won't last very long.
No.
I mean, I wonder if they're doing music together. Maybe they're not dating, they're just
Yeah, maybe that's why. And maybe they're dating or seeing each other while they're making music, and then once that's over, they'll probably
but they were
stop.
in Turks and Caicos, so
Oh, true.
it's kind of a vacation. And I didn't see
Yeah.
other people around them. It was just like
Yeah,
them.
like if they were in Miami, then I would understand them making music, but Turks and Caicos, they were probably just vacationing together.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But she's like Selena. She dates a lot, so
I don't like when people talk about women dating in Hollywood because it's like they can be going on 3 dates and all of a sudden it's like on her roster, but like that's what dating is. You go on a couple dates
yeah,
with
well
multiple men.
everything's misconstrued when you're famous because
Right.
you can't be normal because everything you do. I mean, imagine I don't even like dating, and I would be considered like talking to a bunch of people, even though
Right,
I
but
just
that's
know
what
one.
dating is. You date a bunch of people to see who you fit with.
Yeah,
And so it's like they're like, oh, she can't keep a man. It's like that's what dating is. You're not supposed to click with everyone.
yeah, I know. So I saw this really cool new headphone. It's from a company called Newer Rare. It's called Myco or Miko. So it's a headphone that reads your brain waves and picks music for you. Isn't that fun?
Mm.
So it has a headphone and an app. And then the app automatically analyzes a user's condition of the brain and searches for the best music that matches the Michael Music database. And then it plays that selection for that fits the user status. Michael provides a new experience which we call music serendipity by detecting the user's subconscious brainwaves.
Does it choose? It chooses like an actual song. It doesn't like make up its own melody.
No, it has a database of 100 songs that have been neural tagged by testing several people's brains' reaction to those songs. So each song is associated with a set of characteristics modeling that song.
I wonder what the point of this is.
So you don't have to think about what music, like, so it can adapt to, so the music fits what you should or want or like to listen to or should be listening to, or
I mean, I guess that'd be cool for like maybe studying, so it kind of
yeah,
calms you or gets you in the zone. Maybe.
it's cool.
I don't know. These kind of things are just like inching closer towards them putting chips in your brain. So I don't know how I feel about
Oh my God.
that.
Conspiracy theory much?
What did I hear the other day? It was something like this, and the doctors were even like, "We understand that technology like this can be used for bad."
Really?
Mm-hmm.
This is just, it seems like just a fun, like, headset, something different, like to play around with. It's just
Hmm.
like different, but not, it doesn't sound
I think it's
too
pointless.
groundbreaking.
That's kind of like VR. How that like never got off the ground. Like some
Virtual
people use it.
reality?
Some people use it, but it's not as like mainstream as like they thought it was gonna be.
Well, Ray-Ban just came, I think they have a pair of glasses that are coming out now that are AI or AR or
Hmm.
something. I
We'll see
think,
how that goes.
yeah, people in that world, I think they definitely use it. But I'm not a gamer or anything though.
That's what I'm saying. If you're not a gamer, like it's not as mainstream.
Yeah.
The normal person doesn't use it.
Do we want to, speaking of songs, do we want to talk about Northwest New Banger?
That was actually so cute. Like she is her
Oh
father.
my God. So Kanye West had a listening party for his new album, Vultures. Vultures? Yeah. And so she has a little rap in one of the songs. And so she came out on stage. This was in Miami during our Basel week. I think it was, yeah, during the weekend. And she came out and everyone lost their mind in the crowd. Did you see the video?
Yeah.
So she's like, "We're in a year for another year." And then she's like, "It's your bestie, Miss Westy. Don't try to test me. It's gonna get messy. It's gonna get messy. Just bless me. It's
You know,
your." It's such a cute song.
it is a really cute song, and it's really cute for like her first song.
So apparently Drake has a son. You know his son, Astro or
Mhm.
something. So everyone was
Adonis.
huh?
Isn't it Adonis?
I'm sorry, Adonis. And everyone's comparing her to Adonis, like, oh my gosh, she just blew you out of the water or whatever. You got to work harder. It's like, poor thing.
Does Adonis have a song with him?
Yeah, so they're saying that Kanye copied him because Drake put him in like he did it first with his kid.
Mhm.
But it's not that great. I saw it. It's not a great rap.
Yeah, it's not as iconic as this one. I don't even remember hearing about that one.
It's not a banger. Like I
Mm-mm.
have that song on repeat in my head.
Yeah, Kanye always hits.
Yeah. It's
He
it's
knows
so
how to
good.
make a beat.
And I changed the lyrics to match my dog, Lulu,
Oh my
I
god.
sing it to her and I put her, it's so funny.
And what's
I,
your song?
well, I just put her name in it. It's your bestie, Lulu, whatever. I don't know exactly. Some stupid song I made up. So, but that song is so cute. And she's so cute. Like her energy up there on stage, she's just, North is funny.
North is funny. She's going to be iconic. You can already
She's gonna,
tell.
she's probably
She's
gonna be
already
a
so
rapper.
out there. Like, she's not afraid to put herself out there.
She's probably gonna be a rapper. Don't you think?
Yeah, because she dabbles in like music already, fashion, but her
Fashion.
fashion's kind of like her dad's too. Like, she's her dad.
Did you see her on the Kardashians when she was giving her so
Oh, critiquing Kim.
critiquing everyone when she
Yeah.
was
But
washing it?
when she was critiquing Kim's runway outfits.
and she was critiquing. So Kim went to the Met Gala, Kendall went to the Met Gala, Kylie went to the Met Gala. So they were watching it on TV, and she was critiquing people on TV. Like she was telling Kim in person, you know,
Hmm.
your pearls look fake, and that looks
Hmm.
cheap, and this
She looks
and
like
this.
a mermaid.
And then when Pete Davidson was up somewhere, she's like, Pete, this is not. You're not going. What did she say? You're not going to the gym, or you're not going to. It was funny. She's yeah,
Yeah, and people are saying she's Kim's karma.
a
Like
hundred
she
percent.
puts Kim in her place. She's like the only person who's gonna like talk to Kim like that.
She's just brutally honest.
Hmm.
She's brutally honest, and she's even like, she's like, why did you tell Kendall I didn't like her dress, and I didn't say that? She's like, well, you didn't tell me not to tell her. If you tell me not to tell her, I won't tell her. So it's like she's not gonna rat on you, but you have to be very specific about what
Hmm.
not to say. She's
Yeah,
just,
she's messy.
and Kim is messy. So Kim, that in that way, that's definitely her karma because she can't be messy around Miss Honesty. It's
Right.
because it's gonna
Yeah,
get
she
there.
called her out.
It's so funny.
She is there to humble Kim and put her in her place. When she gets older, it's just gonna get worse.
The only thing I didn't like about the listening party is she was up there the whole time with the lyrics are really, some of the lyrics are really bad. I don't know if
Mm.
you'd listen to it.
Mm-mm. I only saw her clip.
So some of the lyrics are very racy, like very inappropriate for kids. So the fact that she's up there, I didn't love. And then I'm sure they were smoking weed. The whole thing, like she shouldn't have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they should have just brought her out for that little clip and then sent her away.
yeah, and then maybe one song, but not the
Yeah.
whole time.
I wonder how old she is, because she's like pretty out there for her age.
How old is Northwest?
Like, and she's already making a song with her dad. I wonder when they're gonna start making.
She's 10 years old.
She's 10? I thought she was
No, wait.
older.
Wait, she can't be 10. Well, yeah, I guess she can be 10.
I
She's
thought she was
tall.
in her teens.
She's 10.
Because of her, like the way she talks and her little tude.
Yeah,
Wait, she's way too young.
she's way too young, I
Oh,
think.
I feel differently now.
And it's so funny because obviously Kanye has his issues and he's very he contradicts himself a lot, but he goes from like having a gospel choir to singing these crazy lyrics in the song which are so inappropriate. They're so inappropriate that you it takes you back.
Hmm.
Like there's a one lyric I'm not going to repeat, but I'm going to tell you after. It's so inappropriate. You're like, "Oh my gosh." So,
Mm.
you're like, "What's up with that?" Are you
Yeah, I don't know. I feel differently now that I know she's 10 and she was up there.
so inappropriate?
She's too young for that.
She's yeah. Chris Brown was up there with her.
Mm. Ew, they hang
The
out with
wife
Chris
beater.
Brown? Ew.
Yeah.
I thought we like stopped listening to that man. I mean, his songs are so great, obviously. You gotta listen to them. But stop supporting that man.
Supporting.
Like, why is he up there with Kanye? He should get
Well, they can say,
no.
why is Chris up there with Kanye? Because
Huh?
Kanye's also done crazy stuff. So
Oh, yeah, yeah.
they should both not
I
talk to
guess
each other.
it's, yeah, it's just all the crazy.
It's all, I mean, Inappropriate City, that
Yeah,
should be the
that's
name of
true.
his album. Inappropriate City, Inappropriate Vultures. So, um, and then Cardi B announced that she broke up with her husband, right? Offset.
We'll see
They're
how long
married.
that lasts.
So she says they've been broken up for a minute, for a second. So she came out because she finally feels ready to tell everyone. She didn't want to tell anyone her business.
Hmm.
But so they're not together. But this brings me to a memory of Cardi B. And I know that I'm one of the few people that that I even know that knew Cardi B before she was Cardi B. So she used to be on Love and Hip Hop New York.
Oh, because you're a
And
reality girl.
I'm a content consumer, so I watch it
Mhm.
all. And I used to watch her on Love and Hip Hop New York. Nobody knew who she was. And I'm sure she had, like any, local rapper or whatever. She probably had fans back then, but people that she wasn't a household name. Nobody knew who she
Hmm.
was. So she was on Love and Hip Hop. And if you go back to Bitch Bible, Jackie Schimmel, episode in February 2016, okay, she had Cardi B on. And I urge everyone that listens to podcasts to go back and listen to that episode because it's going to blow your mind. It is the most awkward. This is before she was famous.
Wait, Jackie Schimmel had her on her podcast?
I'm bringing you some good tea here. Jackie Schimmel in February 2016. I want to say, yeah, February 2016. It's called The Ho Whisperer is the title of the podcast. Okay. So Cardi B was on the show, plus she had however many. Oh, I think she's really big. She has 8,000 followers. Back then, 8,000 followers was a lot of followers. So if you go back, if you just Google Bitch Bible, the Ho Whisperer, it'll come up with the link and you just click on it. You can listen to it. It's so insane. It's so uncomfortable. It's like two people speaking two different languages. Because Jackie Schimmel is like a Jewish white girl. So let me just give you some bullet points of the conversation they had because you're gonna die. So she goes on there and they talk about the definition of a hoe and what it means to be a hoe. And just to think about Jackie talking, like a white Jewish girl. She starts talking about her butt and she's like, well, my butt's concave. She probably didn't even know what concave meant. Like the way they speak were so different. It's a train wreck. And so they were talking about the definition of a hoe, if they would want to be a pimp, what is a pimp? Like it's crazy. And then they were talking about safety and stuff and like Cardi B's like talking about having mace, and Jackie's like, I want my mace bedazzled. It was funny. And then, so the really kicker of the interview, Cardi B starts talking about how she got butt injections illegally from, was a lady Jamaican? From some lady in Queens in her basement, and she wasn't a doctor. So she got illegal butt shots in Queens at 21 years old. It cost her $900.
Oh, she's
And
so
she said she
dangerous.
had to get them and she would die. She'd rather die than not have it because it was like what everyone had. And, to make it, that's what you needed. And the lady is in, like, at the time of the episode, she's like, well, I'm going to go to this lady. And she's like, oh, no, you can't. She's in jail. And then Jackie's like, why? And she's like, because someone died on her table.
Oh,
She's like, someone died on her table. And she's like, oh my God. And she goes, you should have led with that.
oh my, no, that's actually so dangerous.
No,
I
it
hope
is.
she
I
like,
remember listening to that in real time in 2016. I heard it when it first came out, when it was fresh off the press. I heard that. Okay. So I think people that like Cardi B and know Cardi B should, if they went back, they don't know this episode exists.
if they like Cardi B and they know Cardi B, they know this isn't gonna surprise
No, what
them.
I'm saying is they would get such a kick out of it because
Oh
it's
yeah.
such a crazy interview. If you go to Jackie Schimmel, that episode, if you go to the next episode, she has her mom on and she's apologizing to her fans saying, I know, it was terrible. I'll never do that again. I know it was terrible. It was such a mismatch. Oh my God. She's like, it was just, the comments I was getting were just so bad. But she has 8,000 followers and I thought she was going to tweet. She didn't even tweet about the interview. She didn't even do the publicity for it. So it
Oh,
was a
because she
huge
probably saw
waste.
how bad it was.
He's like, it was a huge waste. I don't even know why I did it.
I mean, she knew what she was getting herself into, but
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I mean, Jackie's funny though. I can see her like bouncing back from
She
bouncing
couldn't,
off of what Cardi was saying.
it was so awkward. She couldn't make it happen.
Mm.
It was,
Oh my gosh, I need to see that.
you need to go listen to it while you're at Pilates or at the, walking at the treadmill, whatever. She
Yeah.
like, Jackie would be like something. She'd be like, yeah, like the way she talks. Oh my God. I can't get enough of it. I had to find that episode because I'm like, I remember her on that podcast. I have to share this. So everyone go listen to it. The
I mean,
whole
she's entertaining. Gotta give her that. She's funny.
It was funny. Very funny. The next thing I have on here, Derek Huff, the dancer on Dancing with the Stars, his wife Haley, which she's also a dancer, was rushed to get brain surgery.
I know, so scary.
Yeah, apparently after they performed, and then the next day she had a brain hemorrhage, a cranial hematoma. So
Yeah, and then he tweeted or posted on Instagram that she has a long recovery ahead of her.
I think she's still in the hospital. It's so
Yeah,
scary.
I wonder if she's like awake and
I think
functional.
she's only like 29.
Yeah, she's very young. Him and his sister have the most energy out of anyone I've ever seen.
They should bottle up whatever they have and sell it.
Seriously, they're Energizer bunnies.
Oh wait, here it says he's 38.
Okay,
How
that
old is
makes way
he?
more sense.
I thought the article said he was 52.
There's no way.
Okay, well, good because he doesn't look 50. So it's a good thing. No, but we wish her well. I was wondering if it had to do with like such intense dancing, the the brain issue. What do you think?
Maybe like she hit her head, or I don't know.
A blood vessel bursts in her brain.
Or there was
So
like pressure in her brain. I don't really know.
I don't know.
But that's very scary. Her life just changed like in a second.
I
I
know.
wonder, did it say she had surgery?
Yeah, she had to have a whatever it was called,
Oh,
cranial
so I
craniectomy.
craniectomy. Yeah. So she could have like lost function, or I wonder like if she's talking.
Well, she was what do you call that? The reason they rushed her to the hospital is because she was just disoriented. Like she was like
Hmm.
not well.
That's so scary. Probably has to take a break from dancing for a while.
Yeah. Well, for sure. And then yeah, but Derek Huff's what's his sister's name?
Julie.
Julianne Huff.
Yeah,
Julie.
Juliet.
So she dated Ryan Seacrest. You know that.
Hmm.
And so she's on Dancing with the Stars. I think she was on it, then she got off of it, and now she's back on it.
Like a judge,
Is she a judge?
right?
Maybe. I would
Yes,
think so.
she's a judge.
Yeah, she's back on it because I see her now dancing with her brother a lot there. So
Um, Speaking of her, back to who's the podcast we just talked about?
Jackie Schimmel.
Jackie Schimmel. I think their little feud is so funny.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Jackie Schimmel
I
is
forgot.
always talking about Julianne and just like making fun of how much energy she has and how cheesy she is.
Well, no, 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 no. She's always hinting that her and her brother secretly are in love with each other.
Right, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, she's an easy target.
Well, and when I don't know if she still talks about them now, maybe she does, but because I haven't heard her podcast in so long, but back then when she was really going hard on them, Julianne Hough was in that really weird stage. Remember she was doing that video when she was breathing the demons out of her and she was doing all this
That's
weird.
the video I'm thinking about when I think
Yeah,
about Julianne and the podcast.
yeah.
What's the
So
podcast called?
that was a phase. The bitch Bible.
What's her name? Jackie. Jackie. When I think
Yeah.
about Jackie and Julianne, I think about that video. She does like the workout video and she's like going around and like huffing and puffing and
No,
it's
and
just
she's
like a
laying on the
lot.
table and someone is over her going like, and she's like making all these crazy noises. So she went through that woo woo period, which was
Is she not so
crazy.
woo-woo?
Maybe she is, but it got really bad for a second, and it was very
Hmm.
public. So maybe she still does
Yeah,
it. But she
and
doesn't videotape it. I don't know.
yeah, and Jackie would make fun of her, and I think she might have gotten shadow banned because of it
Oh,
for like bullying.
she's been shadow banned every other week since she started her podcast. She's always shadow
I
banned.
know.
I mean, she has a baby now, and she's like in the tub with cigarettes and alcohol with the baby, but
I know.
not she
People are
doesn't
freaking
smoke.
out. It's like obviously she's not actually
It's just a
drinking
prop.
and
She doesn't really
smoking.
smoke or anything, but
Yeah, she doesn't actually smoke, but she
no,
just loves getting a rise out of people.
yeah. Well, speaking of comedy, did you hear what Matt Rife got himself into with a 6-year-old?
I did. I saw the
Okay.
mom's TikTok.
I have thoughts, and they're
Mm.
not probably your thoughts or people's thoughts, but this mother has no one to blame but herself. Why are
Her
you putting
mom?
it's her doing. It's her TikTok account. It's her son. It's her doing a Stitch video, inserting her son. Her son doesn't know who Matt Rife is. Her son doesn't know his content. That was her telling him what to say. Okay. And
Yeah.
she is being irresponsible with her son.
Yeah, because
Well,
at the end of the son's video, she like takes a dig at Matt, right?
let's tell everybody what happened. So Matt Rife was made a joke about, women have to stop with the astrology woo woo stuff because it's gone crazy, and this didn't happen to you because of Mercury retrograde or the Saturn or whatever he said. Um, so he's like, it has nothing to do with the stars. Just because Jupiter has a ring and you don't doesn't mean that's why you're supposed to look it up for magical advice. So this 6-year-old is really into science and astrology, but science and astrology is very different than the kind of astrology Matt Rife is talking about. He's talking
Yeah.
about Mercury retrograde and people blaming their problems on it, which is super annoying. It might be PMS, not Mercury in retrograde, right?
I don't know.
So then the little kid responded, and the Stitch, he says, actually, it's Saturn that has the rings. And it has more also, and you're mean to girls. That's what he told him in the video. The 6-year-old.
And you're mean to girls.
That's the mom talking.
Didn't he say something else? That was all he said?
That's it. Oh no, that's no, up to that point. So then Matt came back and responded to the little kid and said, okay, wait. He said something like Santa Claus isn't real and your mom only buys you stuff from the money she makes on OnlyFans.
Right.
Yeah.
See, okay, I understand your point of how there's no reason her son should be taking a dig at Matt. She's the one saying that. Um, but also, Matt, why are you beefing with a 6-year-old?
I think he knew that he's talking to the mom because he's 6. He shouldn't be on social media at all, let
Yeah.
alone doing a Stitch with him. So I think
But also, the OnlyFans comment is so unnecessary. Just because you're an influencer doesn't
because
mean you make your money
he's
through
talking about the
OnlyFans.
mom.
Obviously. The kids don't
I'm,
want OnlyFans.
I think he knew that's her account. But I'm saying I don't think he thinks he's talking to the 6-year-old is my point.
Okay, and I'm saying that his comment about OnlyFans is unnecessary.
But it's funny.
I think it's annoying when like every guy thinks that any girl with a following is on OnlyFans making money.
I don't think he actually thought that.
Like he doesn't even have pictures like that on her profile.
I don't think it's literal. I think he's just clapping back at her so she could like to get her like to like startle her because she shouldn't like she's being silly putting her 6-year-old on there in the first place.
Right. I just think the clap back was not that great. Like if you're gonna clap back, make it,
More
I don't know,
creative.
more creative and something that actually
He should have made fun of her
is
looks.
true.
He should
He
have
would
told
have
her
what?
how ugly she was. He should have made fun of her looks.
Well, make fun of something that's actually there.
Like her looks. I mean, I don't know what she looks like. I'm just saying. He could have
I
made
don't care as long as it's actually there. Like I think like when someone does a comeback and it's like that doesn't even make sense. It's not a
right.
comeback.
Right. I
Like
guess.
you're a comedian, you're supposed to be witty and funny. That wasn't witty or funny.
Yeah. Well, the first
So
part was the Santa Claus.
I mean,
Anyway,
I see both sides. He shouldn't be beefing with 6-year-olds, and his comment wasn't that funny. But then she also like didn't have to bring her 6-year-old into this and make him
I
say something about Matt.
yeah, I don't like when people put their young kids on social media and like use them for followers and all that. That's annoying. That's
Yeah,
not okay because these kids don't know what's going on, and years later they're going to be like, "Oh my gosh, I was doing what?" On camera.
right.
So
And like even her just egging on, like she's doing it for views and follows.
yeah,
Like her posting a whole video of how dare he and this whole thing.
yeah.
So yeah, she's doing it for like some
And then she's
followers.
teaching, and now she's putting her son in this. I mean, I don't know how much he knows, but even having him say that on camera, she's already making him this aggressor with like strangers on social media, which the kid shouldn't
Right.
be. That shouldn't be a comfort zone for him either.
I know,
So
she shouldn't be making her 6-year-old beef with someone else on the internet.
no.
Yeah.
So that it was funny though. I thought it was funny.
I don't know, that's like the other I guess it just depends what side of TikTok you're on and what comments you see. Because this is like more people talking about how Matt is going downhill, even though I don't think he is.
I actually never saw his special. Have you seen it?
I saw clips of it. It was like average. He does better crowd work.
So I had it on last night. I fell asleep. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw maybe half of it. It was on the background. I thought some of it was funny. Was I laughing the whole time? No, but I don't think it was like a bust. I don't think it was awful, but it was like a slow burn. It was like it was entertaining and it was funny, but it
Right,
wasn't
but it's a Netflix special. Like you're
yeah,
supposed to hit it out of the park. You're supposed to be above average comedian. So I think that's the issue is that's like it was such a letdown because you're supposed to be above average
it
being in a
wasn't Dave
Netflix special.
Chappelle that you're like, oh,
Exactly. And that's how you're supposed to be if you get the
yeah,
honor to do a special. So that's why it was just such a letdown. I
yeah.
don't think it was like that wildly inappropriate, but I think it was a letdown.
I didn't really hear anything too inappropriate other than
It
that
was,
first.
I think it was just the first joke
Yeah,
that people had a problem with, but
he said something that I did chuckle. I was like, oh, that's funny. I don't remember what he said though. I'll get back. I'll remember it. But he did say something that actually made me laugh. I was like actually laughing.
mm,
So, but it was I do think it was a little slow, but it was good. It wasn't terrible,
mm.
but it was a little slow. So, I told you I saw that movie on Netflix. Is it on Netflix? May December? Or is that on HBO Max? Oh, I don't know what it's on. But it's with Natalie Portman and Julianne Moore and they it's like a play on this old iconic story, Mary Kay Letourneau, and her she was 32 or 34 with her 12 to 13-year-old student. She had an affair back in the 90s and it was the biggest story. I was just out of high school listening to this going on and I remember it's like it was wild. But the movie was loosely based on kind of that story of the teacher with the young student turned husband. They have kids, and then Natalie Portman goes to visit her so she can get a feel for her because she's going to play her in a movie. So that's the premise
Mm.
of the movie. But it was a really weird movie. It's one of those movies they try to be really weird and like artsy, whatever, but it doesn't
Right.
work. It's
It
stupid.
doesn't work. It's just weird. It's not artsy. It's just weird.
Yeah, they should have just done the remake of the story and it would have been much juicier because it was a play on it, but it really didn't go into it much. It was just more about their life afterwards, like now.
Mm.
It was just awkward. I didn't like it at all. But
Interesting.
it made me think back of that story and Mary Kay and the guy. So I was Googling and seeing what was happening with them. I think I remembered she had passed away in 2020, but I had forgotten. So they got together they were caught in where he worked, I think a video store or something, and in a closet or something, and somebody told her husband, and then they called the cops or whatever. So she got arrested, and she served a few months, but while she was in there, she was already pregnant. So then she gave birth, and then when she came out, she was forbidden to see him, and she saw him anyways, and then went and served another 7 years.
7 years?
I don't know. She was sentenced to 7 years, but I don't know if she served the whole 7 years, but close. And then she was pregnant again. So she gave birth again while she was in jail. Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you,
Oh my
I
gosh.
I told you the story is insane. It's iconic. I mean, you don't know about
Can
that,
you
right?
imagine like how dumb you have to be? You can't just wait till he's 18. Like you're gonna spend 7 years in jail. You can't see him anyways. Like you get caught and now you're 7 years in jail. Why don't you just wait a couple years until he was 18?
So she was married with 4 children. Four.
She already had 4 children.
She already had 4 children.
That girl has never heard of condoms.
So, so, so she met her husband, I think in college, if I'm not mistaken. And then once they got married, they kind of grew apart and maybe he was cheating on her. I'm not sure. But it's said through the grapevine that one of her older brothers, because I think she has 3 or 4 brothers, one of her older brothers molested her when she was little. I don't know if anyone confirmed it, but that would explain a lot of whatever's going on in her head. And
Yeah.
then also her dad was a professor and her dad had relations with like his students, but those are college students. They're not elementary school students. So
Mhm.
there's a little correlation there. But
Right.
I mean, can you imagine? You're 25. You're not even 32, 34. You're 25. Can you imagine being attracted to a 12-year-old? A 13-year-old?
He was 13.
He was 12 when she met him, like started teaching him, and I think the affair started when he was 13.
That's like middle school.
That's what, sixth grade, seventh grade? What grade is that?
I think that's like sixth grade. Maybe seventh, actually. I
That
don't
is
know.
very young. And like, can you, like, at 25, you're 10,
Me right
you're
now. I'm
seven
25.
years, 7 years younger than she was at the time. Can you imagine? Look, how gross. Like, they're so young. That's a
They're
young.
literal babies. I see someone from high school and I'm just like, you're a baby.
Yeah, and if you see his photo, like she's like, oh, he was more mature than everyone else and more this and that. But I don't care. No, he might have been tall, but he was still a child.
Yeah, at no point. Like, what do they even talk about?
Well, they didn't talk much when she was in jail. So by the time she got out, he must have been 20, right?
That's true.
So by that time, yeah, because they couldn't have interacted much.
And the fact that he wanted to get back together with her, but I guess that's what grooming does to you.
He had 2 kids already. So he's taking
Yeah,
care of 2 kids. He was a father at 14.
right. Oh, she gave birth and then he got the kids, I guess.
Okay, they started their affair at 13. She
Yeah.
got caught. They got caught. She's put in jail for maybe a few months, like 6 months,
Hmm.
and she gives birth,
Hmm.
right? Like, she's already pregnant when she's serving her sentence.
Right.
So he's
But
already a
so
father.
then he gets the kids.
Well, he got the kid, his parents, I don't know who helped him.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know who helped him. His parents, obviously. But then she comes out, she's not supposed to see him, and she does. Gets pregnant again and goes back to jail for 7 years. So,
Those poor parents of the boy.
well, what do you think about her first 4 children? Those poor children.
Right. Like your mom's a creep.
Not, and she's like all over the news. Like it was like OJ Simpson part two. It was like a big scandal.
Hmm.
Like a big scandal. So looking back, seeing this movie reminded me of her. So I look back, and so they were together all that time, and then they had a trial, like a short separation, and they got back together. And when they got back together, they did this interview, and it was so awkward. Like you could tell she was just like it's like looking at my mom, or like the older generation, that they're so unaware of certain things,
Hmm.
and then talking to him, and he's like in his 30s at this point and she's in her 50s or whatever she is, with 28 years or something is the age difference. But it was very awkward. You could tell she was super, like, an older generation coming over this young kid. It was so awkward.
Right. Again, they have nothing in common. I don't understand. I can't believe he stayed with her.
Well, that has to mess up a 12-year-old's mind, 13-year-old mind.
Oh, definitely.
So Yeah, he was probably, sometimes things happen in your life, especially if you're young, and then so many years pass and it's almost you wake up, you're like, how has this been going on for so long?
Yeah, you kind of just like get stuck and your life just like flashes by.
Well, you just kind of roll with it, and like 10 years
Yeah.
pass and you're like, oh my gosh,
Hmm.
like this is my life now. Oh, like, how did I get here? If
I
he's Yeah.
mean, I wonder if he's relieved that she passed because he's still kind of young.
So then he filed after they separated, they got back together. Then he finally did file for divorce because I guess they just weren't meshing, and so he moved away. And then she got diagnosed with prostate cancer, so he moved back
Mm.
to take care of her until she passed.
Oh, so he got away and then had to come back.
I mean, he must have. I mean, I don't know if to call it love, but he must have. Yeah, he must have cared
Well,
for her.
obviously. No, that's like trauma bonding again. Like
Yeah,
they went through the same thing together, obviously in different ways,
he
but
must have cared for her because he didn't have to come back and take care of her because they were already separated.
right. I wonder how
And
old he
they
is.
have two children,
Hmm.
so
Those poor children.
they might have had three children actually. Yeah, she had a lot of kids, 7 children.
7 kids.
Well, she had four, and then another two or three with him, and then the ex husband, whatever. It was
Imagine being with someone that's just like a creep. Like you fall in love, you get married, you have kids, the whole thing, and then they end up being a creep.
I don't think he was the best husband, but I don't know.
I
Even
guess.
so,
He's
yeah.
not a predator.
Well, that was fun. To reminisce over that. And then she passed. She was 58 when she passed away.
Hmm.
Yep,
Disgusting.
I know. But it's one of those stories that just it's like crazy. And he's
Yeah,
so
the fact
young.
that it's like national news, like everyone knows about it.
He must be in his 30s or late 30s or something now. And he's not on social media or anything. I think they said that he was caught DJing or something. Maybe he was trying to DJ, but he's no one knows what he's up to. Very quiet.
Hmm. I would probably keep a quiet life too.
Yeah. It's wild. It's one of those juicy stories. Like you can't get enough of it because it's so crazy. You're just like,
I mean, his
how?
childhood was taken from him.
Yeah. And I told you about the clip that she's in the interview and the guy's like, you're the adult, you're the one responsible. She's like, but you didn't know him. You didn't know him. And he's like, I don't have to know him. He was 12. He's a child. And she's like, who was the boss? Who was the boss? And she kept asking him, who was the boss? And he's like, this is getting weird. She's like, who was the boss? He's like, stop asking me. I don't know. He's like, I pursued you, but and she's like, but who was the boss? But who was the boss? It's so funny.
Oh, the husband or the boyfriend was the one getting freaked
The
out, not the interviewer.
both.
No,
He
I know,
looked
but also like the boyfriend.
Yeah, the husband. He was looking at the interviewer. He's like, "This is getting ridiculous." He's like, "Yes, it is." She's like, "Who's the boss? Who is the boss? Who is the boss?"
Oh my gosh, she was like cuckoo.
I'm gonna send you the clip after this. I'm gonna send it to you. So Amanda Bynes. Oh my gosh, Amanda Bynes.
Oh,
Amanda,
Amanda,
please. You
please.
used to love her show.
Everyone did my age.
Yes, she was like, what's the other girl? What's that other show we loved with the girl with the dark hair that they did a remake recently? And another show, whatever. But Amanda Bynes is 37. She's so old.
She's so old. I thought she was like
She's
Selena Gomez's like age range.
she's 37 years old. I'm shocked.
Oh
Shocked.
wow.
So she has a new podcast, and with her new podcast, she debuted her new look. Did you see it?
No.
She's really bleach blonde. She has
Or maybe I did see it.
she has blue eyebrows. They're blue, blue, blue. And she has a tattoo here. She looks very different. But at
Uh,
least she has a heart tattoo and a nose ring. Yeah.
um, that poor girl had so much potential. She would have made killer movies.
She was amazing.
She's the man. Like, she would have
No,
made,
amazing.
she was so good. It's so
Yeah.
sad what the industry did to her.
Who knows what happened to her? She was also in a conservatorship like Britney Spears, but it didn't last as
Hmm.
long, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Her podcast, is there like a preview of it? Like, does it say what it's going to be about? Like, is she
um,
spilling tea? Is she not even going to talk about that stuff?
okay. It's in video format. It marks the first on-camera project for the actress since 2010. Um,
Oh, wow.
yeah. Her co-host is a biochemist, Paul Semensky, and he's a tattoo artist. And they met on the set of Hairspray. She was in Hairspray. I don't know what it's about.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see her talking because obviously she went through a lot and was not right in the head for a little. So I wonder if she's going to be like normal on the podcast.
Yeah.
Hopefully she is. If she makes a comeback, that would be so nice. I'd be proud of her. Like Lindsay Lohan. If she turns
Yeah.
out to be like Lindsay Lohan, that would be amazing. Because Lindsay Lohan is great now. She's so cute in her new like Christmas movies. And
Oh,
she
have you
did
seen
that.
them?
Yeah, I saw her Christmas movie. And she's the Walmart commercial for Mean Girls.
And she
Like
looks
she
back
is
to
so much
normal?
better now. Love her.
She looks back to normal? Lindsay Lohan?
Yeah. Yeah.
She is a rock star actress, but she has to get back to being her old self.
Right, and she is. So if this is what's happening with Amanda Bynes, that would be amazing.
But Amanda Bynes, I hope she looks like she might be in a better place, like healthier
Hmm.
mentally, but physically, I don't see how. I mean, unless she's willing to switch it up for like a role, but she looks very different.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that would work.
I know. I hope she's not doing a podcast and then she's just like still not in the right state of mind, is going to get all this public attention and then just go spiraling again. Gotta be careful with that stuff.
I know. Hopefully, you know, for her mental health, but she's just changed her look a lot and she's just better mentally and that's how she wants to look. Oh, poor Amanda. I hate seeing all these like childhood stars go awry.
Poor Amanda. It was literally like Amanda, Lindsay, Demi Lovato.
Mary Kate and Ashley.
Yeah, they're better now.
Well, they I don't think anything was ever wrong with them.
Well, I'm talking about the people that like went
Oh,
downhill.
right. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and what's the other one? From the Princess Hilary Duff.
Did she go downhill?
No, never.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just saying she's from that era.
Hilary Duff is actually really cute with like her family.
Yeah.
She's very
She's pregnant.
normal.
She's pregnant. She just announced like with her fourth child or something.
Yeah, I like her. She turned out great.
Totally. So, um, Will Smith during Art Basel was spotted out with a girl that looks just like Jada Pinkett but taller.
Just like her. Like a tanned, bald woman, even the facial features, like,
I would go to say she's prettier than Jada, but
I mean, she probably has a better attitude than Jada.
well, Will Smith needs to get out, run from Jada, but Jada doesn't want to let him go. I just don't.
Yeah, and in one of her, I think either her memoir or an interview, she was like, "We're gonna be together forever." It's
Yeah,
like,
she just doesn't want to get divorced, be the person that got divorced, but they're not actually married. Like she doesn't understand that's not a real relationship, and she should set him free because that poor man needs to be set free. Like
no, at this point, she's just trying to control him. That has to be the only reason.
she is
She's
controlling.
literally holding him hostage.
She's like he's like a browbeaten dog. Like he just looks like a
I
shell of himself.
know. He even just like looks run down.
Yeah.
Like you can tell when someone doesn't like the life has been sucked out of them.
What he
That's what he
did
looks
to
like.
what he did to Chris Rock was a direct correlation of him like breaking out of this, life he's been living because he can't get out of
Yeah.
it. He promised Jada he would never divorce her, but it's like, come on. Like,
Well,
go live
also,
your
I
life.
think in a recent interview, Jada said that that slap brought them closer and like saved their marriage. No one
Yeah.
is asking her for this information. Like she's just putting him down publicly over and
She
over.
she has this idea in her mind that she just doesn't want to be the person that got divorced. And that's not fair because that what is that giving your life? Like they've been secretly separated for 7 years. They have not been to they don't have a marriage. They haven't been together. So let him go. Let the man go.
And I don't know why he won't leave.
Because he's so broken down
Yeah.
emotionally that I guess it's like easier just to stay. I don't know. But we
What's the
don't
point of
know.
staying together if you're seeing other people and separated?
Yeah.
I don't understand. And it's not even like an open relationship where the people like each other, but they want to
Yeah.
see other people. They don't even like each other.
No, they don't. And she's been with other people. She's been with his kids' friends. Like, what do you do? Why are you holding this man hostage? The kids
Yeah,
aren't little.
I don't know. And then people in the comments, of course, are like, well, what did he do to her? Why is she like this?
It does. Okay, then again, let him go. Why are
Right.
you forcing people to stay together in this toxic situation? We don't know who this girl is in the photo, though. So it could be a friend. I mean, if she's saying they're so strong, I don't think he would go out in public with a girl like this. But
Right. I mean, there's another girl in the photo too. It's like a group of people.
yeah,
I don't know why they're talking about this particular girl. Maybe because she looks like Jada, but
why isn't Jada there with him? You know,
because they probably don't hang out together because they don't like each other.
because he
Like they
probably
just
lives
think
in
that.
Miami and she lives in California.
Yeah, they probably are not even in the same home. Like I don't understand the point.
I just hope he. I love. I used to love Will Smith. He was such a shining star and
He had this
ruined.
aura about him, and it's completely gone because of this relationship. I mean,
Yeah,
I can't say I don't know them. I can't say it's because of the relationship, but like, kind of seems like it.
she had him on the Red Table Talk show and humiliated that poor man, asking him to talk about the fact that he was so okay with her sleeping with the son's friend. Like she
He was
humiliated.
saying he's okay with it.
She made him go on the Red Table Talk and talk about it, which is humiliating. Like
Right.
like trying to normalize like these issues. It's weird. It's almost like a cult. She tried to normalize this type of life that's not healthy, but she wants to make it
Mhm.
sound like it is, or you
Right.
should
Like we
say
all
it.
have our marriage problems. We're being so open.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
no, these are like crossing the line kind of problems.
these are you need to separate kind of problems. Like,
Yeah. There's a point where it's just not working.
yeah,
That poor man, I hope he gets out.
he needs to get out.
He needs to. It's so sad. When I see people who are so successful and loved universally stuck in situations like this, it's like it could happen to anyone. He has the resources to leave. Like, he does not need to be in a situation like this. But that just shows how broken he is internally.
They're the epitome of the example of why you don't stay together. While children, no child, whatever you don't. They don't have a relationship. They're just
Hmm.
like trauma buddies. It's just
Right.
there's no romantic love there.
Yeah. It's very strange.
Yeah. So, anyways, we hope he breaks free one day. Also, I think she's so into the like the red table talks type of stuff. Like, I think when you're too into like you talk too much about your trauma and therapy, you kind of live there. You take up rent there,
Right.
and you
That's
can't
like
leave
your
that
identity.
space. And all she does is probably like pick his brain and talk about trauma and your dad did this and blah blah blah. Like it's almost like that's not a reason to stay with someone just because you both have bad pasts. It's just like
It's like those couples that make posts on Instagram and they're like, we've been through hell and back, but we're still together. You don't have to go to hell and back
no,
to be
you're
together.
not supposed to go through hell and back. You're
Yeah.
supposed to like each other.
Right. You're supposed to actually be into each other.
I mean, if you go through hell because life brought you hell, like an illness or a death, that kind of hell and you stay together, then that's a real couple. But if the
Right.
hell is the hell you're causing each other, that's not.
Right. Hell is supposed to be like an external thing and you
Yes.
deal with it. If you're causing each other hell, that's not what it's supposed to be. You're
Right.
not stronger because of it.
It's almost like a badge of trauma honor. It's like we you mentioned the other time about Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick's youngest son Rain looking like Justin Bieber.
Everyone's going crazy saying that he looks like Justin Bieber when
So,
Justin was younger, and I do agree. They look very alike, but he also does look like Scott.
okay, hold on. This rumor about him being Bieber's kid has been going on for years. This is not new.
Oh,
It's just as the kid gets older, people notice it more and more because he's getting older, so his features are more. When he was a baby, like you couldn't really tell, but it was even back then. They've always said that
yeah.
because it was rumored that they dated and hung out, and there's pictures of them, but no one knows if that's true.
Okay.
So
I saw that, and I'm kind of freaked out at the fact that they dated. Isn't she so much older?
yes,
And he was really young when that happened.
yes, but
Ew.
Scott's younger than her. She doesn't
Justin's
mind
so
a
much
younger guy.
younger. And at the time, Justin was like, was he even 18?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. This wasn't that long ago. Rain is only what? He's only like 7 or something.
I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
So he was maybe like 20.
Yeah.
Justin.
So Scott was younger than her. That guy Eunice she dated, he was younger, so she likes him fresh, young and fresh. Um
Hmm.
I think if there was anything there, they would have taken a test. I mean, come on.
I mean, they're famous people. I'm sure they would just keep it hush.
But let's say it was. I mean, I don't think like don't you think there would be a change in how they handle things? Like would you think Scott would still claim him and then Justin would never see him? Like that can't be true.
Yeah. You think Justin would care?
Of course.
I don't know. I feel like since they're Hollywood, they would keep it hush. They don't want the scandal.
He does have Scott's personality though. He's like all crazy and outspoken and jokes. And,
Right, but that's just like because he grew up with him.
no, he's always been like that since he's a baby. He's
Well,
buddy.
okay, I think it could be Scott's kid because
Yeah. I think
he
it
does look like him.
I don't think he looks like him.
When Scott was young, kinda. No? I mean, he definitely looks more like Justin Bieber, but
Speaking of Kourtney's children, so after that whole Taylor Swift Kim Kardashian debacle that Taylor said Kim lied on her and released a tape that was edited, Kim posted a photo with her, Scott, and all their kids. Like to deflect.
yeah.
She does that all the time. She'll put like, oh, family's everything. She's no longer like half naked in her skims because she's trying to deflect. So in the photo, Mason, Courtney's oldest son, did you see it? He looks
He looks
so
just like
Courtney.
Courtney.
Oh,
Right.
and he looks like a man. Like,
I know. Because he never gets photographed that much.
well, because he was very chunky, like that weird phase when you're growing up. That
Hmm.
he was probably self conscious, and he was going through his puberty, and he was
Hmm.
chunky at some point. So I think they put him off camera so he won't have to deal with that. And then now that he's older, he's slimmed out, he's taller, and now he looks so different. He looks so cute.
He
Oh
does
my
look
god,
different. Yeah, he's a cutie.
he's so cute. He does look
He
just like
definitely looks like Courtney's side.
yeah.
He has those like dark features.
Penelope looks like Scott. Mason looks
He
like,
does look like Scott.
and then Rain looks like both of them.
Rain looks like Justin.
I don't know because he doesn't have Justin's nose though.
I mean, if you saw a younger picture of Justin Bieber, they actually look very like.
Yeah, they look like cousins. We'll
I
see.
don't know. I think they would keep it hush hush if it was true. But I didn't even realize that they dated. And like Haley hangs out with Kendall and like that whole family a lot. But I
Yeah.
guess like in that world, you just like date around. I don't know.
Yep.
Because I think Kendall even might have dated Justin.
That's what they say. I think did Kendall and Bad Bunny break up? I think they might have.
Did they? I don't think so.
They might have.
I kind of like them together,
Yeah, they're
look
cute.
wise. I don't
Bad
know.
Bunny was on Kelly Clarkson. I didn't watch it, her
Mm.
show, and he was saying something in Spanish, and she was like, "It was so funny." Um, but yeah, I encourage everyone to go look at that the Ho Whisperer episode
Oh
from
yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel. Don't forget, write it down.
Hmm.
February 2016.
Yeah.
It's like breakup season. We're in the holidays.
Is it?
Isn't
It's
that?
like
Oh,
cuffing season, and then once we get to February, it's breakup season.
no. Didn't you hear on the Toast, Jackie and Claudia were talking about one of their, they were talking about there's a day in December, I think it was December 11. It's like the day most people get broken up with on an average.
Oh, so people don't have to deal with Christmas presents and
Well,
traveling together and families.
they say it's like right after Thanksgiving, which if you're already thinking about breaking up, it's probably like not a great Thanksgiving. And then
Hmm.
it's like right between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So like you're like, okay, I gotta break it off because I don't want to go through Christmas and New Year's too.
Right.
And start the year fresh. So it's like a good like middle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It is. It's breakups. A lot of people break up during Christmas.
It's
It's like
breakup
COVID.
season.
You start thinking, you're like, God, this is not what I want in my life. And then you break up.
Hmm. Well, good thing I don't have a boyfriend, so
Oh, okay. You
I'm
heard it here
safe this
first.
season.
You heard it here first. Maybe next week when we come back, that'll change.
Hmm, I doubt it.
A
They
lot.
say you shouldn't date right now. Like you shouldn't meet people. I mean, unless you like meet them out. But it don't swipe on the dating apps right now because if they're on dating apps and not with their family during this time, you don't want him.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
And it's end of quarter. So if he's not stressed because of work and family and like
What?
trying to, no, it's
Oh,
end of quarter. So if he's not trying to go meet his numbers, you don't want him.
okay. That's the worst advice I've ever heard. My take, if you meet someone you like in any way, shape, form, size, time of day, meeting someone you like is half the battle. If you meet someone
I'm
that
talking about dating apps. If you meet him out in the
it
wild,
doesn't
fine.
matter. No, it doesn't matter. If it's on
If
the
he has
dating app and
time
you
to go on
like
a
them,
date right
you
now, you
grab
don't
it.
want
Run.
him.
No, you grab it and you run. You run with it. You have
If he
to.
has time to go on dates right now, you don't want him.
Everyone has time to go on dates right now. It's like you have off time. You're off of work.
Mm. No, you should be with family and working.
What if he has no family?
No,
That's not,
sorry.
no, that's horrible advice. I don't agree. That there you go. Tip of the week. If you find someone you like that doesn't make you want to throw up, you take it and you run with it.
Tip of the week
Sometimes-
on Hinge. Go on Hinge or Raya or whatever. First or second week of January. That's when everyone wants to get their life together. It's when everyone's really scrolling on the apps because they're like, this is the year I find someone. Start it in
But
January.
they can be
You don't
doing
want
that
someone in
now on their off time since it's Christmas. They have a lot of vacation time.
We're not going to agree on this.
And Christmas gives you that like magical, flowy spirit about you in January. You're stressed, just spent all this money. You're like, what is my life? This is so dumb every year. Like, I'm so stressed. You have to take down the tree. You have to do this. You have to do like you feel fat because you ate so much. Like now is the sweet spot. You feel good. You're like in that magical time. Once January 1st hits, you feel like garbage. You feel like
Wow.
hungover and fat and tired and your pocket is dry from all the money you spent.
I could see both sides.
I made a good argument, didn't I? Because
Yeah.
that's how I feel in January. I'm like, oh my God, what was all that
No, I
for?
could definitely see both sides.
I'm fat, I'm broke, I'm tired. I got to take down this tree.
But then it's a new year and people get inspired.
Like I said, You meet someone you like, that's half the battle. You go with it anytime, day, place, situation occurs.
All right.
We should do tip of the week. Do you have any good beauty tips?
Oh, well, I've been using the Dermablade, or no, Derma
Mi-
Roller,
Microblade.
microblade. I've been using the microblade on my face. My face was so sore.
Hold on. The one I got you.
Yeah,
You used it once?
I've used it a couple times.
Okay, wait a second. I don't
And
remember.
I soak it in alcohol.
Wait. You're not supposed to use it more than once a week,
That's not
right?
what I said I did.
Oh no, I'm just saying you're not using it more than once a week.
No.
Okay. Second, I found a trick for that because I use it once a week. I get so inflamed and so red, right? It hurts. You're so
Hmm.
sore. Get the red light face mask and put it on the blue light setting, and it really calms it down for 10 minutes.
The
Right after,
blue? Isn't that for acne?
yes, I don't feel any pain after that.
Interesting.
Yeah. It hurts a lot. At the beginning, you're like, oh, I must be used to it. And then when you're done, you're like, wow,
No, the next morning I'm sore.
Mhm.
And I usually every morning I gua sha, but the
No,
morning after I'm like, I
no,
can't gua sha
no
right
gua
now.
sha,
No.
no products, no gua sha, no products.
Mm-mm.
It'll sting in the morning. You can't, like, you could put just like a very,
Well, you said after I should put hyaluronic acid, right?
hyaluronic acid or the snail mucin because that's
Yeah,
reparative, but nothing else. It'll sting like
right.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tip. If you're doing it, don't put like retinol or anything harsh. Just
No.
hyaluronic acid.
If you put anything, it stings so bad. But if you use the blue light for 10 minutes, it just like makes it calm. And
Gotcha.
yeah.
Also learned, I didn't realize it, is that I learned that because usually I rotate on my days of like salicylic acid at night, and then the next night I'll do retinol, and then the rest I'll do like a more hydrating cream the rest of the week. But I need to do that before the day I microblade
Yes.
because it's too harsh. Yeah, because then I microbladed on Mondays. I'm like, okay, I'll do it Monday. But then the next day I was like, wait, I probably shouldn't do retinol and
No,
salicylic
no,
acid
it's
the next
fine.
day.
Yes, you can.
No, I looked it up.
I do it.
It says it's too harsh. It's going to ruin your skin barrier. So you should do the retinol the day before and then do the dermablade or microblade.
Right. Well, yeah.
Like
But
you should just do it before and then the microblade take like 2 days off and then you can do it again.
if you do microblading Monday night, you could do retinol Wednesday night. You're fine.
Mm.
Yeah, you're fine. Because by that time,
Why when I can just do retinol Monday and then the microneedle Tuesday?
but if you do microneedle Tuesday, you could do retinol again Thursday if you wanted.
Maybe
Because
Friday.
you should do retinol like two, 3 times a week.
Maybe Friday.
Yeah. I do microblading every Tuesday. So
Mm.
it's like
But yeah, been liking it.
so you
Cell regeneration.
do you see any
Or
results or no?
I feel like my face looks very plump.
Okay. Good. Yeah. A good skincare routine is a lot of work and it's a lot of commitment, but you have to do it because then you don't see
You just
results.
have to get into the routine.
Yeah.
And it's really not that much work. I mean, it is, but you'll get used to it. It's like brushing your teeth.
Yes.
You just have to have like set days for it. So it's you like you don't have to think about it.
Okay. So we're using the microblading. It's like the little tool you use at home. I think it's 0.25 the needle. It's very little. It's not too long. But yeah, we do it once a week every Tuesdays. I do it every Tuesday and then use the blue light and a good snail mucin. And that's our tip of the week for
Mhm.
fresh
Perfect.
skin. This will probably drop Sunday going into Monday. So see you next
Yep.
week.
Bye.